Hello, welcome to Dream Chaser Diaries. For those who dream about it and make it happen. Today we're going to interview a beautiful friend of mine called Brie, and her Instagram is Florida Yoga Mama. And we're going to learn how she make her passion, yoga, to become part of her life, and not only that, but also her business. So, take notes, and if you like this post, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Welcome, Brie. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm grateful to be here.
I'm so happy that she took the time. You're a very important and also occupied person that she only has 2 kids. Three? Oh my God. Three. 3 kids. And also she's a businesswoman. She goes all and beyond for everything that she does in life. So tell me, Brie, how did you start it, Florida Yoga Mama?
So I've been teaching yoga for over 13 years.
Okay, I thought it was like, 5 years ago.
No, it's my greatest passion. Actually, before I got engaged, before I got married, before we had children, built the house, it saved me.
And you were teaching from 13 years ago.
Yes.
When did you start it?
Like, when did I take a class?
When this become a passion to when you decide, okay, I'm going to be teaching yoga.
There was something magical. I attended my friend's birthday and she had live music and a yoga class. And I said, yoga is not my thing. I like fast paced. I like spinning. And she said, just try it. And something happened where my mind, body, and breath all together. And I was hooked. I was like, I need to learn more, because it was the first time where I wasn't thinking about the past. I wasn't thinking about the future, but I was in the moment. And that was the moment where I knew I had to learn. And then once I learned, it's part of my responsibility to share it with other people.
Wow. So when you started 13 years ago, when did you decide, you know what, I'm going to create an Instagram page?
Yeah.
And because I know you have been built in a community, it is beautiful to go to your classes and everybody knows you. And it's like they connect with you very well. And if you haven't taken a class with her, she's amazing. She makes you feel so wonderful when you're doing a class of yoga class with Florida Yoga Mama, with Brie. You're feeling like it's a safe space. It's a sacred place. It's like it's a magical space that you create in that hour. It's like you disconnect from everything. You focus on your breath, and basically it's magical. Like I went to her class and I'm like, I need to come back. So tell me, when did you start it? Like the Instagram decided, okay, I'm going to open a page.
So it's a good question, because my world was always in front of the TV and doing interviews and hosting. And
no way, I didn't know that. Okay, tell me about it first.
So I had a company in New York City called United TV, and I would interview businesses and I would interview events, red carpet, and say,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So for me, what happened was I had all these different social media pages. I had the TV one, I had the Brie personal, and then I had the yoga. And my friend who was doing influencing, who you know, said, "Why do you?"
Which one? Which
Jamie?
Oh my God! She's coming next week.
Awesome. So she says to me, "Why do you have 3?" And I said, well, because my yoga people don't care about the TV stuff, and my TV stuff doesn't. And she goes, Brie, they care about your whole life. And that's when I merged and found the brand Florida Yoga Mama. So this goes back now maybe 6.5, 7 years.
Wow. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So once you opened Florida Yoga Mama, how all your communities, 3 of them, merge? And how was the reaction? How did they react of that?
So merge? I think the beginning is a lot of trial and error. Like I would be teaching a live yoga class in my bedroom during COVID, and my kids would be knocking on the door, and I'm like trying to be all serious.
Like,
Right. But instead, what I would do is be like, who else has annoying kids that are bothering them? Well, and I created this sense of everyone can relate because we're all going through this. And
100%.
And that's the thing, is that anytime in yoga, it doesn't matter. We all have multiple things going on. But if we can disconnect to reconnect, that's where the magic happens.
100%.
So for me, that's kind of what I ended up doing. And then brands would send me clothing to wear when I would teach the classes. And then I would do a giveaway. And then slowly and slowly. And I've noticed too, with the entire influencing space, I started off maybe a lot of yoga, where yoga will always be a huge part of my life. And whenever I travel, I try different different yoga, but there's more to me than just the yoga.
Exactly.
Right? I also have a beauty brand. I also
You have a beauty brand? Okay, now tell me about it. You
didn't
see,
you
I'm
come
lit.
to
No.
Grafton Cosmetics when I did that mom's night? Okay, so
No.
you'll come to the next one. Yeah, so I have like lip glosses and eye makeup and everything.
That's why
with
she always has the best lip gloss. I haven't
I'll
told you
give you
that,
one.
but she's like always, her lip gloss is on point all the time. Like, I haven't seen you once that your lip gloss is not on point.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I feel like it's a way that I can merge every. I feel like the best part about being a creator is that as we continue to evolve, so does our brand. So
100%.
with the makeup and the skincare and everything, that's right now. But like in 2 months' time, it might turn more into travel. And then in 5 years' time, maybe I'll be doing yoga retreats while traveling.
I will join 100%.
Right? But it's all about if we feel good on the outside and we take that time and that self-care to do our hair and we makeup, then we're going to feel good on the inside. And if we do the yoga on the inside and we focus on our breath and meditation and manifesting and things we want, it's all merging together.
100%. And that's something that I really like about you, Brie, that you focus. And I mean, you always look good, but if you talk to anybody that talks to you, it's like you're not empty. You know, you're very special. You really try to connect with others. And I really love about that. Like, and the yoga, I think you are like a walking brand. Like, definitely the name of your handle identifies as you as a person, as you as a brand. Like, for me, I always try to do, even if I do like a beauty brand and or something, I will always try to, hey, I want to take this time for myself and to feel better and to like, if I only have 5 minutes and I'm gonna do a skincare routine, I'm gonna do that because that's self-love. And that's something that you always say in your practice, like self-love, give this time for you, for your body to connect. And it's so amazing. Like, if you haven't taken a class, please join now. Like, I won't say it again.
I paid her to say that.
No, she didn't pay me. It is very important for us, like as a content creator as well, to take a time for like just to connect with ourselves, like because we're always connecting with everybody that is outside, everybody that it is in the other side of the phone or the tablet or anything, but we forget sometimes. And I talk personally because of myself, I forget to connect with myself. It's like I forget sometimes to ground in, and because I'm all connected, I don't know if it happens to you, but for me it's like I'm always on the phone. And I know it's very bad, but I'm always with the phone. Like, I'm walking with the phone all the time. I always wanted to be connected, but we forget to connect with ourselves.
One analogy I like to use in my classes too is in Shavasana after the class when we flow. It's almost like you're unplugging. When you have a glitch in your phone and Instagram's not working, what do? You shut it down.
Yeah.
And it runs efficiently. So we as humans need that time to shut down and have everything kind of go where it belongs, not only in our minds, but in our body. And then we reset. And then we're better wives, better friends, better moms, etc.
Everything. Now, do you have something like a 5 minute or something like 2 minutes that you can take and that usually helps you? Maybe breath work. What usually when you feel overwhelmed that helps you to connect with others or to your like with yourself, so you can connect better with others? Something very quick, because I mean, the reality, we don't have the time every single day to do yoga or to connect 1 hour. Like, there's something that you usually to your students or even for yourself that you apply in your daily life that helps you to reset.
So I always begin each day with an intention. So they have something that's free called the Daily Om, where you can get like an online article you or your horoscope, something like that. And I think those are always nice because when you read something higher, no matter what religion you believe in, maybe you believe there's something bigger than just us. And when 100%. You can tap into something like that, in addition to the mind body work, the breath work, that always brings me right back. So even if you don't have a lot of time, you can, check out that particular website. There's a million of them. Neil Donald Walsh is another one that has a free one. The universe gives messages, but I kind of like, they're a little cheesy, but there is science-based data behind it. It's not just woo-woo. It's almost like it combines both.
You know, something that I learned once, I was listening to a podcast. You know, I love to listen to podcasts. And then this lady was telling about like sa, ta, na, ma. Like I always do this. Like when I'm very, very like overwhelmed, and sometimes I'm having a panic attack, or I'm having like a stress moment, or just I cannot really start even as conversation, or I'm very overwhelmed and I start like sa ta na ma. I don't know if you have
There's
heard.
another one. Peace begins with me.
Oh, okay, that's something.
English, you know,
Yeah.
that way, because yours is Sanskrit, or even just grounding
I don't
your
know what
feet.
it is, but she was like,
Yeah.
"Seta na mama."
It's
I don't
a
know what
mantra.
happened. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's like it's
Satnam,
coming.
peace. You know,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's like if you can ground your feet, if you can be where your breath is, you can even put your hands on your belly and fill it up for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale out 4, 3, 2, 1. You can also
I like to
hold
do that one. Yes, I remember.
the breath at the top. And there's all different ways for you to, once again, almost shut down that monkey mind, come back to this, and then you'll actually be more efficient once you do that.
Yes, that's what I do. But like I'm a very creative person, and I could be very like my mind could be anywhere. So that's something that helps me to be like, okay, I need to relax and I need to calm. I'm here now. I'm not in the future. I'm not in the past. I'm now here. I need to start, because that's the thing with me. Like I have so many ideas, but sometimes it happens that it is hard for me to start. So once I'm in the present, I'm like, okay, what's next? I can do anything in life.
You become aware.
Yes, 100%. All your senses come to like here and now. There's nothing
And the
else.
senses are another one too, right? Like your eyesight, what you're seeing, what you hear, everything.
Yeah, that's what I put like a good playlist, like
Yes.
something to relax, or
Music.
house music to like bring me up, cheer me up. And I'm like, okay. And now I turn on a candle, and I'm like, okay, this is a perfect environment to work. Now I can work perfectly. You know, it happens to me like, or any incense that I can be like a burn, or a Palo Santo.
You're doing
like
it.
Sage.
You're living it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I remember when I was like the first month, or yeah, I was 1 month postpartum when I did like a class with you.
Yeah.
And I was so hard with my body. I remember, and you were like, girl, you look doing amazing. You're
That's
doing
right.
great. And I'm like, I will never forget those words, because it really means the word to me. It really helped me understand that my body just gave me a baby. Please be
That
kind.
you prayed for a long
long
time.
time. Like, please be kind with your body. And I was like, I know, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't recognize myself. And Brie, you were like, girl, just enjoy. Embrace this moment. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hug my baby when I get home, and it's fine. My body will come back. And I think you're one of those friends that always have something positive to say, and like, you know, you're very, very special to me. That's why you're here.
Thank you, because I feel that we've met a lot in different circumstances.
Correct.
And I know you see my soul.
Yeah.
And I see your soul.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people who have never taken a yoga class, they feel that they're not going to be flexible, or people are going to judge them. And the truth is most people are so only aware of what's happening in them. No one else was looking at you being like, oh, her body is different now. 'Cause that is the way your body should be after having a baby. That's normal.
Exactly. And actually, one friend like this week wrote me, oh, I want to do Pilates, but you know what? I'm scared because I don't know what to do. I'm not very flexible. I'm like, you know what? Everybody's looking at the like the ceiling when
Right.
you're doing Pilates. Nobody will look at you. It's like the only people who will look at you is the instructor, because they need to correct you or something. And I'm like, you know what happens to me? That I mean, I'm my first language is Spanish. And sometimes the teacher will say knee, and I think it is the ankle. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, Daniela. It's like, this is the basics, but sometimes my brain doesn't connect well. And I'm like, and she's told me that, and I'm like, you know what? It happens the same to me. I would take a picture in front of the mirror, but I won't record the whole thing because I'm making mistakes. I'm doing anything like what I feel I should be doing, but it's like everybody is focused in themselves and trying to do the like keeping the breath and doing the exercise, nobody's looking at you, really looking at you. Like, oh, look at her, has her belly. Like, oh, she
Nobody.
has cellulite. Who doesn't care about that? No, we live in a world that the first people that judge us is ourselves, and we're the worst,
The worst, the hardest.
the hardest. Like, you have like an advice that you would tell the Brie 10 years ago, 13 years ago, when you started this, what would you say to her?
What's funny is when I used to do the TV hosting and being in front of a camera, I felt like I always had to be on and perfect and ready. And I think my most special moments are when I show up and I'm a little more vulnerable and I let my guard down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would tell my little Brie or my 10 years ago Brie that just be your authentic self because the right people are going to see you for it.
Oof, I love that. You know, something that I really love about this podcast that not only is like we talk, but I think we inspire a lot because there are a lot of women over there that maybe they don't take that yoga class because they're thinking, oh, everybody's going to look at me. They're going to judge me. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to look at you. Like everybody's so into themselves that they don't have time to judge you. Like, I think we have ourselves a barrier that if we don't look good, like even myself, I started to work out here before even go to a studio because I was like, oh, I'm so fat. Everybody will see me fat and will see me this little chunky here and they're going to see me my cellulite and they're going to see my stretch marks because I had a baby. It's like, nobody would see that because everybody, like now that I go, I'm like, everybody's in their own thing. Nobody has their phone. There's like, even it's so hard to keep their arms up that we forget about the next person we have next to us, right? So I think that's something that maybe you see often and that you always have to cheer up the people that are in your class.
Right. My goal, right? It doesn't matter if you're a prenatal student with a baby in your belly or you're a senior student, maybe 80 years old, that the goal is for you to feel successful when you come to yoga. And what does successful mean? That doesn't mean you have to do every pose. Maybe you do 70%. Maybe it's just showing up.
Yeah.
Maybe you're taking in the energy around you as we're literally lighting up our community.
Beautiful.
And also, there's options, right? On the day you're PMSing, you're not going to want to go upside down and do a headstand or legs up the wall or an inversion, right? You might want to chill a little bit. You might want to do more hip openers or relaxing poses, and you can. There's no rules, you know? And I hope that when people come, especially beginners, you leave feeling that you learn something, right? Like I'm not telling you get into triangle pose and you're, what's that? I'll say, step your right foot forward.
Yeah.
Turn the left foot this way. Reach your arms up like you mean it. Look up to your fingers and open your hands. And those little cues, your brain is just listening.
Yeah, because if she says that to me, I would be like,
yeah, what's that?
Triangle? Like, how? Like, how could this start?
Right. But then also somebody who has been taking my class. I have people that have been coming all loyal.
I know. I met some, and even some friends of you, Meredith. I'm always talking to her. Like, I met her through the class, and we're friends.
Oh, that's very special. But right, so I'll say to those people, try option 3. That's where you twist and you add a balance. So that way they also feel successful and challenged, but the class will meet you where you are. What if you had a horrible night's sleep? What if your stomach was hurt? There's so many different variables in stress, in our marriage, is the husband in the doghouse tonight? It's like all of these things affect the way you show up.
Yeah, 100%. I think once I started, because I was so connected with social media, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lay back a little bit. I'm going to take time for myself and my body to heal and to recover. And I'm going to start doing this more for me because I'm doing everything to basically, I'm to show off the world that, I continue to do things while I just had a baby, but then I'm like forgetting about myself. And for me, the time that even if I take 10 minutes for myself and just disconnect and do even yoga pose or Pilates or whatever, stretch class. It's like, wow, I'm doing something for me and now I can do anything, right?
There's never been one student who came to class and said after, I wish I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you always feel better after. You just have to get there.
Yes, I love that. So, Brie, tell me, because I love this story about your kid was giving always the what was it?
The
drinks to the
garbage man.
Oh my God.
Sanitation worker. I got corrected on that viral video.
Sanitation worker. Okay, I love what are you teaching to your kids to be kind to others. That's the most important thing in the world. I think even I was in a yoga class and once, and this mom came with their 2 little girls. One of the girls, she stepped into the yoga mat from my friend and then she spilled the water. I think it was water or a acai bowl. I forget what thing. And then the little girl tried to, because she did it, tried to clean up a little bit. And then the mom was like, no, leave it like that. Like, she spilled the whole mat of my friend. It's like the little girl was doing the exact right thing that she had to do. But the mom, she was like, no, come on, let's go. We have to go. I was like, are you serious? That's the example that you want to give to your kids? Like, I think that's something that really reached out to me when you post about it, because it touched my heart. It was like, that's the kind of parent I want to be for my kids, because especially there's so many bad people in this world. Also, there are so many kind people in this world, but we want to be more the one of kinds, right? So tell me about it. How do you teach them how to be good and kind to others?
I think you live it, right? So I will make friends anywhere I go. It doesn't matter if I'm at the grocery store. Yeah. If I'm thinking something in my mind about somebody, I will tell you.
Me
because
too.
It lifts up their whole spirit, right?
Correct.
So my kids, they see me do it. I mean, my husband to the point now is almost more surprised when we go out somewhere and I have no connection with people. He's like, oh, that's not my wife. You know, it wouldn't be normal because that's just who I am, right? So I think the kids follow. And what's interesting is this week, my oldest one started middle school. And so what happened was there was a little girl in 6th grade and she was sitting next to nobody.
Okay.
So my daughter doesn't know the rules yet, and she says to one of the administrators, is it okay if I go up and I say, can you come sit with me? And the administrator, said, of course, So then my daughter, sat with her and everything. So the other day, they're trying to figure out who was the girl that said something, and it was her. But she's like embarrassed. She doesn't want the attention.
Yeah, of course.
So they come in the classroom and they're using it as an example, and her face is all red, and they're just
please
saying,
don't point at me.
And I told her when she told me she got home, I said, honey, you should be so proud of that.
100%.
But she doesn't even need the recognition, right? So the same thing with my son with the sanitation worker. What happened was he was in diapers at the time, 1 year old, and he just always loved watching the truck drive by and the guy would honk the horn. So we just thought it'd be nice to give them waters. And it turned into every Friday from that moment on. And my son associates. Anytime you see a truck, you give them a drink. And they work so hard. And the gentleman would always talk to my son and ask him questions. And before he could even speak, and they would fist pump and high five and elbow bump. So it created a bond.
Yes.
And a very expensive bond, because this has been going on for 5 years now.
Imagine 5 years, water and coffee.
They're very hydrated. But it's so much more than just that. And I think that's what the video conveyed is that kindness doesn't have to be big gestures.
Yes.
It could be very small things, leading by example, one act. It's a ripple effect. When you do something, like you were saying, you give somebody a compliment, that person's going to walk around happier.
And you're going to be like, oh, that's nice.
But it's like we all have our part, and we can literally light up more than just our immediate community, but through social media, through the world, through our travels, anyone we encounter, it could be so much more special.
Yes. So what do you think your husband says about social media? Because I remember before I wouldn't see him, but now he's like...
He's getting into it.
He's getting into it, but you make so much fun of it. I'm like, oh my God, I would laugh. I love the video that you did with your husband about the nails, because I always come home and I'm like, oh, do you something different,
Yeah.
my love? Like, and he's like, you did your nails? Oh, you look nice. But we're like, please look and say something. And it's like so relatable. And that's something I really like about your content because it's so relatable. It's so true. And
I
authentic.
think, right. So I think that's where I'm at right now is my husband is definitely the behind the scenes guy, an introvert, but there's a part of him that kind of secretly likes it all, but he doesn't feel comfortable delivering it. But if it's me with him, then it's okay.
My husband, the same.
It's like I'm his like safety blanket.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes I'm like, it's okay for you to just,
like,
you got this.
Go, baby, go.
Right? So the more that he's able to show who he is, because he's actually very funny when he does, and he really gets invested. Whenever we have a video, he is committed. Like when he gave that
so
nail
nice.
reaction, he was like, oh my God. I mean, he took the part very seriously.
No, it was so natural. And I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Hilarious for
And I think he's a smart man because there's a lot of perks to this job.
Of course.
We just got back from 5 countries in Europe. That
I
was all
know,
sponsored.
so I was like, please.
If he's smart, he will continue to participate.
That's why my husband now is starting to do more videos with me because I'm like,
they benefit.
and now I'm like, these stickers are for you, my babe, my love. It's like, okay, what should I do? I'm like, walk a little bit. I'm going to record this. Or even a outfit. I'm like, look at this outfit, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, so I know they get more involved once they see the benefits. But once you're started, did he support you the same way?
Yeah, I'm very lucky in the way that he has never tried to dim my light. I was in a past relationship where when I was doing the TV stuff, and I knew that he preferred me to be a little more low key. And the moment I started seeing those red flags, I'm like, I can't be with this person. Yeah. So I'm very lucky that Evan accepts me fully.
Beautiful.
And
let you shine the way you are.
And he sees me in all aspects.
That's beautiful.
So I'm grateful
I
for
love that.
I appreciate it.
Especially because we have had other interviews here. And always it's very important to have like a very close circle of support. That means a lot to us, especially in that we're in this business, that we actually know a lot of people, but we really want to be close. By the time we say friends and family, we're very close because we want to be like loyal and very, very deep relationships. And we want to have most of the people that are successful is because they have that support, even for the closest one. Not from everybody, but the closest that we have, the people like the friends, family, or husband, or even a mom or a dad or a sister that gives you that support, that gives you that intro. Even this friend that she's like, come on, try yoga. Hey, you have to pay that friend. It's like, try yoga. You never know. You will like it. And look at you, 13 years later, you're doing...
And that's the thing is it's all about finding who you resonate with. So the same thing with a yoga teacher. There are some styles of yoga that I'm not even into, right? There are some teachers that won't play music or just focus so much on the pose. That's not for me. I like to bring in the music, the energy, the essential oils.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, you spray all the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love that.
So again, you have to find who you vibe with, whether it's yoga, whether it's a friendship, right? Because we all lift each other up.
100%. So tell me, how do you have like a weekly yoga classes or monthly, or are you organizing anything to do big at the end of this year? Or
I have a couple big events coming up, and the best way is to stay tuned through social media.
My friends.
I do a ton of pop-ups, but I have a big one coming up with Baptist Health, and there'll be Zumba there too with Tony. So you can do a little of everything, like health cha-cha. And wellness.
So tell me, what is your goal from here to the end of the year?
My goal is to continue on my path and to trust my journey. I am being led to opportunities of a lifetime, and I'm here for it, and I'm holding on tight.
Love that. I always say that it's not that we don't receive the opportunities, that we have to be prepared for those.
And I'm going to claim one right now, and let's like manifest it together. I have a 9-year-old who is obsessed with Taylor Swift. And we can't get tickets for under $2,500
no, that's too much.
In the nosebleeds. So I am manifesting right here that I will take her for her 10th birthday dream. And we are going to find tickets somehow, some way to see Taylor Swift when she's in Miami.
Come on, Taylor Swift. Take me.
We're counting on you. But watch, from that moment, you put it out there.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, all of a sudden, and I'm not even expecting it, it will naturally happen.
It's something that I learned also when I was trying to get pregnant. It's like you say it once to the universe, you forget about it. You just wait for it.
That's it.
And it was hard to forget about it. But once I did it, I forget about it. I forgot. It happened.
I'm going to tell you one, too, that you guys will see soon is I wanted to take the kids on a Disney cruise. They've never sailed. And I manifested it. And where do you think we're going in 3 weeks?
Disney cruise.
Family of 5, Disney cruise.
Oh, my God. I want to go, too. Because I have Alessandra. We cannot go to more adults cruise. I mean, we can go, but it's like we already did one this year. We're not gonna do two. Yeah. So much time without him. But now I'm like, oh, Disney cruise, please.
Mm-hmm. When he's a little older.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you so much, Brie, for this time and space. I think it was perfect. It was sacred. It was very deep. I think anybody that's going through a bad situation, or if you're going through a good situation, always take time to reconnect, to connect, right? As you say. And it's very important to learn how to be here and now. I know it's hard, and that's why I took a deep breath, because for me sometimes it's very hard, but it's something that I always remember for your class. I will never forget about it. It's like, you're here now, focus in here and now, breathe. It's like everything will pass, and I'm so happy that you're here. Anything that you want to say to finish?
I would say we can all bring our hands to prayer, heart center. You can close your eyes. In yoga, we always end our classes by saying namaste. And what that means, it translates to the light in me honors and recognizes the light in you.
Beautiful. Namaste.